The convivial atmosphere of the Afghan presidential elections has fallen by the wayside, with one candidate lobbying accusations of voter fraud and rigging in the June 15 runoff and the other calling those allegations uncivil and dangerous behavior. Abdullah, the previously leading but now trailing candidate, held a press conference on Wednesday, saying that alleged election fraud is an affront to the rights of all Afghans, which has destroyed our confidence in the Election Commission. Abdullah called for a full investigation and has asked for all ballot counting to stop until the investigation is complete. Preliminary results are due on July 2. Early estimates put ex-World Bank economist Ashraf Ghani Ahmadzai in the lead, even after another candidate, Zalmai Rasul, dropped out of the race and threw his support behind Abdullah. The campaign of Ghani did not respond to a call and emails for comment following Abdullah's allegations. The country's independent election commission has denied fraud allegations, including charges that one of its officers illegally transported unused ballots. Afghanistan has a history of widespread electoral fraud, and foreign observers said they witnessed abuses at several polling stations. Unfortunately, we've seen evidence of systematic fraud, said Naim Ayubzada, director of Transparent Election for Afghanistan, TEFA, which had 8,592 observers working across the country. Individuals affiliated with presidential candidates, who are not supposed to be working at polling stations, were seen doing so by TEFA's observers, Ayubzada told Al Jazeera. Conflicts of interest among officials working at polling stations were just some of the procedural troubles, he said. The problem in the first round was ballot shortages, and instead of focusing on the security of sensitive voting materials, the electoral officials decided to increase the number of voting stations, said Ayubzada. Nader Mohseni, spokesperson for Afghanistan's Electoral Complaint Commission, reported that 2,558 complaints have been filed since the runoff, including 991 against election poll workers. Competing claims. Abdullah secured 45% of the vote against Ghani's 31.6% in the first round of balloting on April 5. About 7 million Afghans cast ballots. The two candidates have been fighting a war of words in the media since the first round, and some observers fear this could spur violence. These results are dangerous for Dr. Ashraf Ghani, but not for Afghanistan. Dr. Abdullah has a logical defense, said Syed Faisal Sancharaki, Abdullah's spokesperson. He said documented issues with ballots and statements from election observers supported Abdullah's claims of fraud. For example, the level of participation in the second round was far lower than the first round, so how can the Election Commission announce that more than 7 million people participated? We have documents showing participation in the second round could not have exceeded 5.2 million. In some areas, there are more votes than people, Sancharaki told Al Jazeera. Kabul-based political analyst Haroon Mir said there is a serious risk of political meltdown, but that claims of an impending calamity by Ghani are overstated. Improving transparency by inviting observers from both camps and outside witnesses is the best way to defuse the current situation, Mir said. For the time being, concerns over violence are overstated, he said. But look at our security forces. If this becomes an ethnic issue, due to the different ethnic and tribal groups supporting the opposing candidates, then it could start to become a more dangerous situation. Abdullah has set his conditions. If his conditions aren't met and the Electoral Commission continues to ignore them, and starts announcing results, then it could certainly start to become a very dangerous situation, Mir said. Follow D Parvaz on Twitter, @Parvaz. 636